think we can all collectively say that we're all sick of Bouncer talking about Dig That. It's just actually getting played out and boring. And the fact he's trying to relate this to the Marlow P situation is just highly weird, because at the end of the day, we all know that Bouncer still sat down with the alleged victim of this crime and decided to do a talk with them, and that prosecution basically used that as evidence to further their case that this was actually just a mock and he was trying to get him out of jail and stuff. It's just so weird.
Marlow P turnout is just like a Dig That turnout. I can see it right now. It's a Dig That turnout. Let's give you a backstory of Dig That. Dig That obviously alleged he was rolling with a gal influencer. Everyone's saying that the influencer set him up, gave the drop. Let me know in the comments what you think, you get me? You're walking down the streets, and I'm just going to say it how it is, bro. You have your machine on you, you have your dog on you, and you've been caught slipping, and obviously, boom, you've been mashed up, and your watch has been taken. You get me? No one knows what gone. No one knows who, whatever, boom. Your watch has been taken, and obviously, I'll be honest, you see on the streets, I can't lie, I can't have my dog on me, and that could ever happen to me, bro. Never. Like, there's no point of, this is why it sounds good to be on the streets or have your dog, but if you're not self-aware, do you know what I mean? And imagine that story going around, bro. That's just what it is. Now, obviously, you've been convicted. A retaliation has happened, and even backstories of the case, the retaliation has happened, and someone has been shot 8 times. You get me? He survived. He's been shot 8 times. He survived. Boom. Backstory. Boom. They've just, the whip that it happened in, it's been parked next to your girl's house, your girl's mum's house. Like, there's too much stuff that's a backstory.
This is the most loose and stupidest idea. Dig That was a fool. He literally drove from South London to North London to commit a crime in a car and then drive back and acting like there's no such thing as ANPR's what's a fool. Whereas Marlow P lives in West London, who he's beefing with people in West London, has probably more connections than Dig That, because Dig That had to do his own thing himself and go over, which I'm sure Marlow P would never ever do.
Your personal information, the opposition's got because you've left it in the car and whatnot. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Bro, don't end up like Dig That. I will keep on saying that, bro. Don't do it, bro. The man them, if you got someone that's smart, I know your man them's gonna watch this video, and whoever's half smart, bro, take the L, bro. Anyone can get robbed, bro.
Another obvious statement from Bouncer. Everybody can get robbed. I didn't know that, you know. Thank you for joining Bouncer's basic class. Right, let me get this straight, Bouncer. You think that the guy who's got money, who can afford to do a lot of different things, is going to back down or be scared of the situation because they have his personal details, but they was the one who comes to rob him? This is what I'm trying to say about you guys who talk about these street guys who know what they're talking about. Have no idea, but do you know what will stop him? Someone talking about it on the internet. Now, for this one, guys, we need to talk about this whole situation with Bouncer, because clearly he's on a one-sided path. He likes HRB, he likes Digga D, and has a problem with Marlow P for some reason, even though he just sits in his house in Dubai and has never lived in any of these areas. He's from South London and he's from Croydon. Now, Bouncer likes to proclaim that he put in some work, which we have no evidence of whatsoever. But at the same time, we also know that at the age of 15, he snitched on people, actually called the police and decided to make a statement, which actually makes him a snitch. And he tries to make this look as if say it's anything else but that. By the end of the day, we all know from the age of 6 or above, up until the age of 10, we are all taught that snitches get stitches. So I don't understand what he's talking about here. Clearly, none of his business ventures are working, and people are actually thinking that Bouncer is worth £1 million. But I do not even believe this, because Bouncer is talking on subjects and tried to get clicks as hard as possible just because he has no money and he's broke and he needs to keep paying his bills in Dubai. And if this doesn't happen, he's going to be evicted. So this first clip I'm going to show you is Bouncer really getting happy over the fact that he is causing tensions in West London. It's just so weird. Watch this.
Fredo's probably pissed off with Ache. Like, Ache, this fat flipping reacted to this you here, bro. You get me? And label it. Marlow P sends shots off the Fredo mum or baby mum or whatever. I swear down, you're gonna have a man, bro. You're gonna have a man, like, yeah, bro. I can't lie. Man has to act on this. You got peas, man's got paper, and man's not in the country. Yes, just We're not gonna go wild because we got an open case and madness, but we're gonna do some street stuff that it's not really that deep because the police ain't really gonna care about that because it's like they're not gonna care. It's not deep. No one hasn't been done over. You get me?
Look at the way he laughs about the whole situation as if say what he said had any escalation on the beef that was already there. Fredo clearly already knew that Marlow P had said what he had said and he didn't need Bouncer's input to understand the message. But the fact that he's trying to bring Fredo into the mix is also weird because these guys just randomly said Fredo's name, who they know doesn't like Marlow P. They automatically think that this is something to do with Fredo. And this is what I'm trying to say about Bouncer. He likes to spread narratives, which he doesn't even know that are completely true. He just hears somebody's name and thinks that that's okay to mention them in this actual whole thing just for the clicks. And the thing is, what people say is that he's speaking from the streets, but this is just not true. He is a snitch, and listen to the way that he speaks about it because it's so weird that Bouncer has this perspective on being a snitch. It's just so anyway.
Like, oh, your Bouncer's a snitch, got a man lifed off in the can. But you don't even know nothing, bro. What are you talking about? I got a man lifed off in the can, bro. Bro, to give this some content, yeah, bro, is this happened, bro, when I was 15 years old, bro. 15-year-old. I said something to the police, yeah, that I shouldn't have said, bro. Get me? And I take own for it, bro. I wasn't there when a murder happened, bro. I wasn't there when flipping, bro, they had codees, yeah, that turned QE, bro. Do you get it, bro? I said a conversation on the phone, bro. You get me? I said a conversation on the phone. This is before I even on the roads, bro. I'm 15. My school friends died. You get me? R.I.P. my friend. Do you get me? I don't want to say his name, but R.I.P. him. You get me?
God bless.
Bro, I fucked up, bro. You get me? I fucked up. If you want to call me a snitch from that, you can call me. I wasn't there when the murder happened. So
Yes, that does make you a snitch. That absolutely makes you a snitch. That is the definition of what a snitch is. Someone who speaks to the police, someone who calls up the police and speaks to them is definitely a snitch. And why does he always say content instead of context? I just don't understand it. Now, what guys need to understand about this situation is that it's very weird for Bouncer to say that he was 15 years old as if say that makes a difference. Because like I said before, snitches get stitches. And this is something that we all knew from early, let's be honest. On top of that, adding to the fact that he says that he wasn't there as if say that is an award, which makes it even worse because why would someone actually decide to call the police, give information if they wasn't even there in the first place? They could have never got in trouble for this crime. Therefore, Bouncer still snitched, knowing full well he couldn't have got in trouble, but just wanted to help the police out in the situation. I don't know what Bouncer's addiction is to talking about broad day, but it's clearly something that is not heterosexual because that's all he ever talks about is broad day and how bad broad day is. And it's clearly broad day must have something on Bouncer because at the end of the day, Bouncer just keeps banging on about him. But watch this clip here.
said the story with you and Broad Day, bro. Obviously, you get me. Broad Day is another bad boy. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? You said the story of Broad Day being at the music video. What baffles me from this story, bro, is, and I said it previous, bro, and Marlow P, big respect to what you're doing, bro. Big respect to your projects. Marlow P's, man, them, you lot watching this. This is no crazy direct, like, man's not disrespecting them, man. Like, man's just saying it how it is, bro, because, man, if man's going to speak on Fred, I have to speak on this, bro. Like, obviously, we portrayed this whole mad bad boy thing, so, and I'm not saying man's not a bad boy, but right now, it's gone left.
Now, this is what I mean about people who talk about people who know the streets. Now, at the end of the day, yes, Marlow P has been robbed. I get that. But how has it gone left for him trying to be a bad boy? He makes money. He makes guap. He does his thing. At the end of the day, these guys are used to taking L's or can take an L. It's not a problem. Why? Because they have money. But the person who's robbing them can't take that L. They can't afford to get protection. So when they do get found out, stuff can really get real for them. So this is a weird narrative to follow. And it's like Bouncer is trying to annoy Marlow P or trying to annoy other artists by talking in such a weird way. Like Bouncer knows anything, like I said before, and seen he is a snitch and there's paperwork on this, but we can do that on another episode. But the point being here is that Bouncer is not about what he is talking about. Like, honestly, let's keep it real. Because when things got real for him and stuff happened to his boy, he turned into a snitch, not into a madman or monster, this nonsense he tries to portray. So I'm going to show you this next clip where Bouncer is basically trying to say that Marlow P in this interview has really annoyed Fredo. And it's like this situation wasn't there before when they are fully aware that this situation has always been there. But it's not like Bouncer has this addiction to talking about broad day all the time.
Yeah, his dad's like, yeah, Marlow, hey, bro, he's going to the hotel, bro. You know how my man talks all gay and that, like, yeah, bro. Yeah, he's gone to the hotel, I'm gonna check where he is and that. All of that stuff.
And this is why it's mad. Imagine that even being sent to Fred. Bro, my man's just like, yo, this shoot's dropping music, cool. Man's in this situation. Man's just getting embarrassed online. Do you know what I mean? We need to sort this out. And it's like, obviously, that's the backstory. Remember, there's another one that he's saying that his house got burgled. It involves Digga D and that. There's another one why he's kind of explain why he's got an issue with Digga D and whatnot. Obviously, for all the disrespect that's happened, now you got the gorillas making videos like this.
PG gang. And Marlow, you don't want this back. I don't think you want this back. Fred, he doesn't want this back, does he? He definitely doesn't want this back. Hey, Marlow. Nah, looks better on me.
And now you've got man them doing bidding wars to buy your jewels because it's your jewels. A man saying 35 bags, a man saying 45 bags, but because it's your jewels, you got man them doing bidding wars. Like, bro, I'll be honest with you. I'll probably think that jewels is probably gonna get sent to over there. You get me? By
Just because someone shouts at PG, which is the alleged association of Fredo's charity, it does not mean that they are part of that said charity. If I shout out Sonny, does that mean I'm part of that company? No, it absolutely does not. So Bouncer has basically contradicted himself in this statement, and this is what I'm going to lay out for you. If he's saying that Fredo himself was involved in this whole transaction that took place in the first place, then why would he be repaying for something that he told him to get in the first place? It makes zero sense. So if Fredo was not involved, of course he would be bidding to buy the object that of the person who has been trying to take the mick out of him. It makes complete sense. So what Bouncer needs to understand is either he's saying that Fredo has something to do with it or has nothing to do with it. Because at the end of the day, it's sounding like he's trying to say Fredo has something to do with it. Let's make it clear. If Fredo was involved, there would probably be no bidding war. He would have set his price and that would have been it. And he would have been cashed out. But the fact that there's a bidding war would mean that Fredo isn't involved is what I am saying. Now, the thing is with illegal money, it's very difficult to get into a system. And I mean like a legal system. Therefore, if you think about it, there's only a few categories of jobs that you can actually use as your discretion to get rid of this money that is illegal and make it legal. And therefore, one of those jobs could be anything, washing cars. Let's just listen to this clip and I'll talk to you about it after.
that's happened for Marlow P. What does Marlow P do? What does he do? And what I think Marlow P needs to do is just focus on making money, forget the street stuff. The rap thing is, bro, I'll be honest with you. You're making good money. There's no, like, if you're using yourself as leverage, as being an artist to start a clothing brand or to whatever, then no problem. But there's no money in rap, bro. I'll be honest. If we really look down, if we speak about it, there's 100,000 artists in the UK. Let's really understand how many artists actually making money, because everyone looks like they're making money, but no one's not making money from rap. Last year, they said 12 million artists uploaded music to Spotify and only 0.6% made around $10,000 and more. That is under 1%.
So you're probably wondering why I spoke about what I spoke about before. Because Bouncer, number one, no one is actually listening to him, especially someone like Marlow P, who knows that Bouncer is actually a snitch. It's not going to listen to somebody who's a snitch. Secondly, how much do you get paid for a concert? Who knows? Who can tell you how much you've been paid? No one ever knows these figures. And this is things that people simply don't understand. When you are an artist, you can kind of choose your fee in numerous different ways. And what does that allow you to do? Well, let's not even go there. But if you don't understand where I'm going with this, then, you need to read a book and hopefully get some education. My last point is, where has this figure come from? Spotify? Because if that's from Spotify, then it makes sense, okay? Right, certain artists only make 10K, but what they're not telling you about is commercial deals, all the sorts of stuff that you can actually get if you have an image and you are a rapper. So don't let Bouncer deter you from being a rapper because he says it doesn't make money, because Bouncer has never had a skill in his life except for talking about people. But guys, I am going to leave it there, and possibly we will revisit this because there is a lot on Bouncer that really does actually annoy me. But guys, like, share, subscribe, and I shall see you on the next one.